I, Asma Mubashara from University of the Punjab, Pakistan, feel great honor to be part of this prestigious 13th International Conference on Design Principles and Practices 2019 held at St. Petersburg, Russia. I acknowledge the hard work of Common Ground research community and express my deep gratitude to all associates for their efforts to arrange a supportive environment for creation of collective wisdom of common concern. I am affiliated with the Faculty of Textiles for nearly 2 decades, working in different capacities, primarily as a learner, a teacher, a practitioner, a researcher, an artist, and as a designer. My discussion here is an effort to bring into limelight the importance of academic conceptualization of consumer textile designing as a user-centered design activity. Before I commence with the details, here is roadmap of this discussion. For clarity and ease of understanding, I will be talking about 6 major aspects. Contents will be an effort to create comprehension of complex activity of design, leading to understanding of user-centered design, textile design, and consumer textiles. Comparison of the current and proposed design practices will be discussed, concluding to highlight the long-term potentials of user-centered design activity in the arena of consumer textile designing. Design is recognized as a problem-solving activity. Recently, investigations of design philosophy, design methods, and design processing graduated as scientific studies in social sciences. Design is the process of intentionally creating something while simultaneously considering its purpose, function, economics, socio-cultural factors, and aesthetics. Design is found in almost everything around us, natural as well as man-made. Success of man-made design effort is gauged by how strongly it affects the quality of life of the user. Designing well is not easy. The ease with which one can do things can dramatically affect our view of ourselves, our society, and our world. Design methods is a broad area that focuses on exploring possibilities and constraints by focused critical thinking to research and define problems of products or services. It leads to redefining of the specifications or solutions with better guidelines than traditional design activities. Further, it involves managing the process of exploring, defining, and creating to construct the prototype solutions that incrementally or significantly improve the problem solution. Last 2 decades of previous century showed a greater rigor in the discovery of new methods for the improvement of designs and services for professional progress. Evolution of different design methods did not follow a clear linear progression of methodologies, but analysis of evolutionary changes can be traced through history. Since the time of Plato's Republic, exercise of participatory design methodology can be traced. Deep-rooted democratic approach of Greek society was an ideal platform for the nurture of participatory methodologies in designing. The explosion of technological advancement by the mid of last century led to the popularity of engineered system designs, giving priority to the introduction of latest technologies in design across all domains. By the mid of last century, the evolving design philosophy unfolded itself as interaction design, engineered designing and incremental designing resulting in enhanced production, but negligence towards user experience and stakeholder input was strongly realized. Design concept is the underlying thinking and reasoning behind a design. It is rooted within human cognition. Designs are ruled by one of 3 philosophies: aesthetics, usability, and manufacturing. Each consideration contributes towards addressing whole process of designing, but inadequate dominance of one contributes the resulting dissatisfaction. By the end of 20th century, design thinking was recognized as an emerging successful strategy across different faculties and industries. Revolutionary design theorist Donald Norman is considered as the father of user-centered design concept, who laid larger emphasis on design thinking for specialized problem-solving management. Favor of Donald Norman for humanized approach and end-user control to the entire process of designing was later endorsed by various designers from broad area of industry and practice. As a result of this transformation, user interests and needs were preferred on the mere usability test. The role of users elevated from being guinea pigs to co-developers of design systems. All these changes paved path for opening of a holistic perspective of design process. Acceptance of user role resulted in shift of techno-driven focus to humanized one. This user-centered design approach appears to hold larger potential for resolving wider societal issues of modern life. In contemporary complex socio-technical systems of human society, activities of design have a varied range of applications. Clothing and textiles are among basic human needs, hence hold a large-scale design implication. Nearly every single one of us on this planet is consumer of textile products. A vast range of everyday textile product categories are prepared by this sector. The consumer range spans across all user segments, regardless of age, gender, nature of societal or professional engagement, or health issues. This oversized contribution places textile sector as a leading partner in global economic activity. Textile design students develop an understanding and experience of using different textile materials, processes, and techniques to be professionally successful. According to the Consumer Textile Act, Section 2, any textile fiber, yarn, or fabric, or any product that is in the form in which it is to be sold to any person for consumption or use is categorized as consumer textile article. This research is an effort to unravel comprehension of complex activity of design and developing an insight of nature and methodology in which creative thinking skills are put together in the user-centered and mannerism of contemporary clothing and textile design. This study comprises of a collaborative workshop to explore and compare dissimilar design practices. Among these, one is user experience-led design activity and other is material-led design activity for a consumer textile article. Efforts involved studying effect of user need assessment as primary component of textile design process for proposed consumer textile article in contrast to common design practice. Furthermore, significance of the academic conceptualization of consumer textile designing as a user-centered design activity increased by review of existing literature, which suggests that design researches focusing on user needs at initial stage of design is rare. It was observed that acquaintance and experience of user-centered textile design processing equipped designers with richer knowledge to implement their skills on material handling, resulting in enriched problem solving. This is a comparison of two design strategies used here: manufacturing or product centricity against user or customer centricity. Commonly, the tricky relationship between the problem, what is required, and solution, how to satisfy that, is endorsed by all designers across all domains of design. One agreed upon fact across all types of design is placing greater emphasis on clearly defining the research problem. Any attempt that fails to fulfill this fundamental step of definition usually results in ambiguities, not only during the other steps of design process, but same can be evident in resulting solution of the product or service. Contemporary designers have to be more sensitive towards finding solutions to problems of life and considerations of the need of people. Innovative, effective, efficient, inspiring, ethical, and stimulating designing is much needed now than ever. Growing number of academic and professional bodies of knowledge are now emerging to bring into limelight nature of different design methods and core features or aspects of particular design mannerism. current century adapted well to the transformed approach to design methodology of prioritizing understandability and usability over aesthetics and technology. This new wave in favor of user-centered design is now more than only a method. Rather, it is emerging as the new mindset for interpretation of problems of design for 21st century. It is strongly aimed at introduction of element of humanity and empathy of all stakeholders in the whole process of design. Inclusion of the principles of usability and understandability with consciousness of societal concerns and ethical norms has become an assurance of competitive edge. Successful designers need to study their direct clients well to take into account their real needs and interests so that users can have best return of their investments. I, Asna Mubashara from Pakistan, extend my thanks and deepest regards to all for keenly listening. I invite all the honorable delegates of this 13th International Conference on Design Principles and Practices at St. Petersburg, Russia, to provide their opinions, recommendations, comments, and questions to the email provided here. Thank you very much.